Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
What's going on, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And it is that time of the month. That's right. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. We're going to be talking about the collected editions coming out in October of 2023. So join me. Alright, before getting started, I do want to thank our patrons for making videos like this possible. The link to our Patreon and our spread shop is in the description of the video. And if you do want to join our Patreon, that's where the written documentation of these monthly collected editions goes. And that starts at $1 a month. And a big thank you to my buddy Aaron Cobbs for setting up the Marvel and DC upcoming collected editions for the month of October. Alright, we got 5 weeks, because I'm including October 31st / November 1st here. And there will be a last week reminder, or the week before the last week, I'll do a video on like that Friday, before October 31st and November 1st, what's coming out that final week, as a reminder, because I think you all have enjoyed that. Alright, 5 weeks, woo! And as always, dates are subject to change. I'm going to do top 13 because we got 5 weeks. Most wanted or most anticipated must reads, must buys for the month of October. That will come out on Sunday. All right, let's go ahead and start with the week of October 3rd from Marvel Comics. We have Ghost Rider by Ed Brisson. So this collects Ghost Rider 1 through 7, Absolute Carnage, Symbiote of Vengeance, and Spirits of Ghost Rider, Mother of Demons, King in Black Ghost Rider 2099, the 2019 series, issue number 1, and then material from incoming number 1 in Marvel Comics Presents number 6. So it's the complete Ed Brisson. A lot of those trade paperbacks are out of print, so I'm glad that they're putting it all in one. Doctor Strange by Jed MacKay, Volume 1, collecting Doctor Strange, the 2023 series 1 through 5. Mighty Marvel Masterworks, The X-Men, Volume 3. My goodness. I need to get back on that with my kiddos, doing the family reviews. This collects X-Men 20 through 29, introducing the Banshee. X-Men by Jerry Duggan, Volume 4, collecting X-Men, the 2021 series, 19, Uncanny Omar already trying to talk pretty one day, 19 through 24. You have Stefano Caselli and Joshua Cassara doing the artwork for the series. X-23 is back with Deadly Genesis. This is the book by Erica Schultz and Edgar Salazar. This collects X-23 Deadly Genesis 1 through 5. I think this is the one with the Kingpin in it, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least that's what my viewers have told me. From the world of DC Comics, we have Batgirls Volume 3, Girls to the Front. I believe this series is now over, but oh my gosh, it was so good. Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, Robbie Rodriguez, and this collects issues 13 through 19. I just love seeing not just my favorite Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, but also working with Spoiler and Babs. Oh my gosh, yes, how did that series not continue? Webtoons is getting a Zatanna and the Ripper Volume 1 collection. This collects the Webtoon series, the first 11 episodes of the Webtoon series. And I've heard from a lot of my viewers that some of these are really good. Vixen NYC Volume 2 is coming out. This is by Jasmine Walls and Mano Azumi. And this collects the next set of episodes from Vixen. This is another Webtoons book. Batman, this is the one that I was told was really good. Batman Wayne Family Adventures Volume 2. And this is by CRC Payne and Starbite. Those names are awesome. DCeased, not an omnibus, but we are going to get a deluxe edition. And I believe this is just the first 6 issues with the extra issue in there, the special. It's $49.99. Yeah, I think so, because that's the page count of 296 pages from the standard edition. This is the Tom Taylor and Trevor Hairsine series. Batman Volume 4, Cowardly Lot by James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez, collecting Batman 106 to 111 and Infinite Frontier number 1. Ghostmaker Clown Hunter by James Tynion IV, collecting Batman 107 to 111, Batman Secret Files Clown Hunter #1, The Joker Warzone #1, and then stories from Batman 2022 Annual #1 and Batman Annual #5. DC Horror presents Soul Plumber right in time for October. Spooktacular month. Collecting DC Horror presents Soul Plumber 1 through 6. Did I say Spooktacular month? Oh my gosh, I'm such a dad. DC Horror presents Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. I got super excited because whenever I saw Army of the Dead, I'm like, okay, it's the Army of Darkness. It's got to be something to do with Evil Dead. Not really, but it's written by Bruce Campbell, who was Ashley in Evil Dead. So that is freaking awesome. You have a cover there by Gary Frank, but the internal artwork is done by Eduardo Rizzo. This is a hardcover, 160 pages, collecting Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead, 1 through 6. Hell yes, sign me up. And from the world of manga, we have Centaurs, volume #1. This is from Ablaze Publishing. They've been putting out a lot of manga recently. And Chainsaw Man, volume 12. This is not collected in the box set that came out just recently. This continues into the second part of Chainsaw Man. I was told that they plan on making 3 box sets because that's how far he wants to take the series. Get Schooled! Volume 1 is coming out that very same week, and that is by Ablaze Publishing as well. And Neji Shiki is coming out in a hardcover format, and that is being published by the folks at Drawn and Quarterly, who from time to time publish manga, but the things that they do have are very artsy or must-read, so they really know how to cater to their audience. River's Edge is coming out that same week, and that is being published by Vertical Comics. Also, another publisher that doesn't do a lot of manga. Like, you know, you have Viz, you have Yun Press, you have Seven Seas, and even Dark Horse from time to time will publish 5 or 6 volumes, sometimes more, a month. Whereas Drawn and Quarterly and Vertical Comics, they only do like maybe 1 every couple of months. Anyway, Savage Garden Omnibus. How could you not think about the group in the late 90s, early aughts when you see the word Savage Garden? This is also public. Ablaze is just coming out strong, man. Spy Family, the official guide, eyes only, classified by Tatsuya Endo. And I believe this is just different illustrations or just a collection by different artists, by different mangaka creators. I love when they do that. Taman's B-Side, Volume 1 is coming out from Viz Publishing that very same week. And continuing the Witch Hat Atelier series with a Volume 11. Man, I need to catch up on those. Those are some gorgeous books. Kanachi's putting out some beautiful stuff, and I'm hoping they'll do hardcovers or some kind of box set. And speaking of box set or hardcovers, I would love to see Hunter collected. We have a volume finally, and I think most people know why, right? Why these are so delayed, but finally volume 37 is coming out that week, and it's because the mangaka has been sick and lots of delays, but hopefully it will come out and hopefully wrap up the series one day. From other publishers, we have Where Monsters Lie, and this is by Kyle Starks and Peter Kowalski. This is published by Dark Horse Comics, and you have the first 4 issues collected in this. Stone Star, Volume 2, In the Spotlight. This is by Jim Zub and Max Dunbar, collecting the first 5 issues of this original, or I'm sorry, not the first 5 issues, the In the Spotlight issues 1 through 5. This is a Comixology original. I love that Dark Horse is doing that. They're giving us the Comixology stuff now in a physical format. Dragon Age The Missing by George Mann, collecting the first 4 issues of The Missing. And the EC Archives, Weird Fantasy Volume 2, collecting Weird Fantasy issues 7 through 12. So you have stuff in here from Wally Wood, William Gaines, of course, Al Feldstein, Joe Orlando, Jack Kamen, And if you don't own any of these, I know the hardcovers are harder to find now, but at least we're getting these in softcover format. And oh, they're beautiful, beautiful collections. And I totally recommend it for anybody that's not even into horror. They're just really good comics. White Savior from Scott Berman and Eric Wynn is coming out, collecting White Savior 1 through 4. This is a paperback for $19.99. And the Eerie Archives is coming out with their first trade paperback, collecting the first 5 issues. This is the stuff from Warren Publishing originally. So you have Joe Orlando, Gene Colan, Steve Ditko, Al Williamson, and of course, all headed by Archie Goodwin. American Gods, Volume 3, The Moment of the Storm. It is a trade paperback collection of the American Gods series. This is the stuff by Neil Gaiman and P. Craig Russell, Scott Hampton, and this one is $24.99, and it collects the 9-issue series, The Moment of the Storm. Breathers by Justin Madsen is coming out, and that looks like Jeff Lemire. Let me look really quick here. Featuring Breathers variant cover by Jeff Lemire and Matt Kent. There's a bonus 0 issue in there as well. This is a paperback for $29.99. BPRD Omnibus Volume 7. My gosh, they are cranking these out. So this is collecting the further adventures of the BPRD, Mike Mignola, John Arcudi, Lawrence Campbell, and Peter Snetchberg. Oh my gosh, I can never pronounce that gentleman's name. He was the artist on Starman, and I've butchered it every time I have to say it. I'm so sorry. Dave Stewart. These are the paperback versions for $29.99, 424 pages. I'm hoping that once they're done with the paperback editions of these Omnis, they'll focus on the hardcover collections, or give us big hardcover collections. The Witcher Omnibus Volume 2. So another trade paperback. This collects The Flesh and Flame 1 through 4, Fading Memories 1 through 4, Witch's Lament 1 through 4, and the Free Comic Book Day 2021 short, The Witcher Once Upon a Time in the Woods. From the world of IDW, we have Best of Beauty of Horrors, and this is another coloring book is what this is. And we're also getting For Better or Worse. Big shout out to my buddy Curtis for doing the restoration, the color restoration on this. This is the Complete Library, Volume 7, collecting the strips from January 2nd, 2000 to May 27th, 2003 by Lynn Johnston. And Walter Simonson's Fantastic Four Artist Edition is coming out. These are some beautiful books. This collects 8 complete stories from Walter Simonson's run on the Fantastic Four, 337 to 341, and then 353 to 354. Oh man, has there been an Arthur Adams? I'd love to see just his new Fantastic Four collected. And a biggie here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Compendium Volume 2. These are the big omnibus size books. They're hardcovers. $150, 800 pages. And this collects Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 15 through 23, 27 through 29, and 31 through 37. I mentioned on my Saturday streams why they can't reprint the missing issues like 24 through 26 or 30. And that's because during this time of Mirage, what Eastman and Laird decided to do was give ownership, copyright ownership to the creators that were working on those books. So I think it all has to do with royalties and why those can't be reprinted. Like some of them can that Eastman and Laird have worked on, but it was the same case for the Dave Sims book that was missing from the first volume. Star Trek 5-Year Deluxe Edition, $39.99, 320 pages. This collects all 14 issues, and I really want to read this. Now, I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan. When people always ask, what do you prefer, Star Trek or Star Wars, I always answer with Doctor Who. But maybe I lean more towards Star Wars, too. But the reason I want to read this is because it's written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, who I think are just amazing. Like, I've called them the new DNA. You remember the era of the Marvel Cosmic Saga when it was Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning? Yeah, these guys working together are freaking awesome. Like, everything they've done that I've read so far. And if you haven't read Captain America Sentinel of Liberty, that's one of my favorite runs on Captain America in a long time. All right, from the world of Image Comics, we have Chosen, One American Jesus trilogy. This is the Mark Miller and Peter Gross story. It looks like it's been pushed back to this particular week. I think it was due out in September. Clementine Book 2 is coming out from Image that week as well. And this is the Tilly Walden book. My buddy Wonder Matty has read the first one and really loved it. So I think this is going to be a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. Cosmic Detective is coming out. This is the Jeff Lemire and Matt Kent book, and David Rubin is doing the artwork in here. This has been released through their Kickstarter, I think, as a hardcover, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong. And Heart Attack is coming out from Sean Kittleson and Eric Sawatsky. And I just did an interview with them on Wednesday, if you want to go and check that out. Talking about this book. This is an original graphic novel published by Dark Horse, or distributed by Image Comics, but published by Skybound. Junk Rabbit Volume 1 is coming out from Jimmy Robinson, collecting Junk Rabbit 1 through 6. That cover really has me intrigued. King Spawn Volume 3 is coming out. This is the Sean Lewis, Todd McFarlane collaboration with Javier Fernandez and Thomas Nachlik. And we're also getting Local Man trade paperback Volume 1. And this is called Heartland. This is by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleece. And collecting Local Man 1 through 5. Or the first 5 issues of Local Man, that is. Parasocial is coming out in a hardcover format. And this is by Alex DeCampi and Scott Henderson. And Erica Henderson as well. This is described as a psychosexual thriller. Like American Psycho? Huh. But it is the same team that did the Dracula MFer. And I'm just censoring that. It's actually spelled out. Phantom Road Volume 1 is coming out from Jeff Lemire, teaming up with Gabriel Hernandez Walta, who did the artwork in the Tom King Vision story by Marvel Comics. He's a great artist. Spawn Origins trade paperback Volume 27, collecting issues 161 to 166 of Spawn. I'm glad they're cranking those out. This I'm really excited for. This is the I Kill Giants 15th Anniversary Edition. It's by Joe Kelly and Ken Nimura. It's not a hardcover. It is a trade paperback for $19.99, but it collects all 7 issues. I was also hoping for a hardcover, but it looks like they decided to go a trade paperback route. But do not miss out on it if you only get hardcovers. It is a phenomenal read. Oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking. It's beautiful. It's so good. From the world of Boom Comics, we have Ghost Lore trade paperback volume 1. This is by Colin Bunn and Leo Max, collecting the first 4 issues of this series. We also have Power Rangers Unlimited Call to Darkness, and this collects Power Rangers Unlimited The Coinless and Hyperforce number 1. And we only find them when they're dead. This is a new series by Al Ewing and Simone DeMeo, collecting all 15 issues of that. From Arsenal Pulp Press, we have 40 Men and 12 Rifles coming out. Amulet Books is coming out with Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Witch's Wings. And this is by Teller K. Mejia and Juji Wu. And if you were a fan of that series, I assume this is like it's got the same font as the Are You Afraid of the Dark from Nickelodeon. My brothers used to watch that. And I used to make fun of them. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you all? Why don't you watch something good, like Tales from the Crypt? Anyway, Babysitter's Club Volume 14 is coming out. This is Stacy's Mistake. Always reminds me of my lady one summer just reading all those books. Be That Way hardcover coming out from Margaret Ferguson Books. And we're also getting the D&D Lore and Legends hardcover. Dune, the Deluxe Edition Volume 2 is set to come out that very week. I got Volume 1. My buddy Kyle sent me Volume 1, and it is a beautiful slipcase. This one is $50, but it is based on the novel. It's based on Frank Herbert's novel. But it's Kevin J. Anderson working on this, Brian Herbert, and Raoul Allen. And the first one was so good. It's a great adaptation. So if you enjoyed the movie, but don't like reading books, maybe you should check out the graphic novel. There you go. That's my pitch. Let Me Out is coming out in graphic novel format. and that is being published by Oni Press. And we're also getting Misty, 45 Years of Fear. This one really intrigues me. It's a hardcover collection. Shirley Bellwood, Pat Mills, Malcolm Shaw, Julia Round, and Mario Capaldi, just to name a few of the creators that worked on the series. And it's a 1978. Apparently, this comic was released, or this particular anthology was released. So I'm curious what this collection will have in it. I love horror anthologies, so that's why it's got me intrigued. My Picture Diary is coming out in hardcover format, and that is by Drawn and Quarterly. Night Eaters Volume 2, Her Little Reapers, is coming out, and that is by Abrams Comics Art. I think this one was supposed to be out in September, but it is Marjorie Liu's and Sana Takeda's new book. It's the same team that did Monstrous. And we're also getting One Cool Duck, Volume 2. It's an awesome name. This is Far Out Port. And Rivers of London, 7 through 9, the box set is coming out. Next up is Saving Non, Chang and the Elephant. This is by Dial Books, and it looks to be in a landscape type of format. This is by Claire London, and it's based on the true adventures of Trang Nguyen and Jeet Dung. Super Magic Boy, I Am a Dinosaur, is coming out from Random House Children's Books. This is a hardcover. Thirsty Mermaids is coming out in a trade paperback format. This has been released before. This is by Gallery. This has been released in a hardcover format before. Voyaging Volume 1 is coming out from 10 Speed Press. This is the Plague Star. And it is based on, or maybe it's co-written by George R. R. Martin? Oh, it's art and adaptation by Raya Golden. Okay, so it's an adaptation. And we're also getting Five Nights at Freddy's, the trilogy, in a box set. Man, that thing does not stop. That is so popular. Like, my kids and younger, my gosh. Summer of Ham is coming out in a hardcover and a graphic novel format. That is published by Enemy Books. It's coming out both in hardcover and in trade paperback. Box of Bones, Volume 2 is coming out. This is a reprinting, or a restock rather, and that is by Rosarium Publishing. And Confetti Realms is coming out that week from Maverick Mad Cave Studios. The week of October 10th from Marvel Comics, we have Ghost Rider Danny Ketch Epic Collection, Vengeance Reborn. And they did change the name of this one. It was supposed to be a continuation, not the name, but I guess they did change the name. It's Danny Ketch now. So it's not just Ghost Rider. Now it's Ghost Rider Danny Ketch. I did a quick little sneak peek on our shorts if you want to go back and check that out. Man, this is going to be difficult because I really want to... Choosing 13 for my top 13 is going to be hard. Anyway, this is the Howard Mackie era, collecting Ghost Rider 1 through 12, Mark Spector Moon Knight 25, Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme 28, and material from Marvel Comics Presents 64 through 71. The Marvel Age Omnibus is coming out. This is a big book. This is collecting the first 34 issues and annual number 1. So long before we had the internet, long before there was Wizard Magazine, long before there were any magazines about comics, where we heard our rumors and where we got our information about projects that unfortunately some of them didn't happen, but some of them did. And when we got our first looks was Marvel Age. For those that remember those particular simpler times. X-Men, X-Verse, X-Villains. That's a lot of X's. $9.99. These are little digest-sized books. Uncanny X-Men number 150. That's an awesome story of Magneto. Wolverine First Class number 2. And X-Factor number 24. And X-Men Spider-Man number 4 are collected in here. Captain America, The Trial of Captain America Omnibus. This is the new printing, so this would be the 4th volume in the Ed Brubaker saga of Captain America. It collects Captain America Who Will Wield the Shield. It collects Captain America 602 to 619, as well as 615.1, Steve Rogers Super Soldier 1 through 4, and Captain America, the 2011 relaunch 1 through 10. Captain Marvel, the Genis Vell era. So this is Captain Marvel Genis Vell by Peter David. This is a big book. One of my most anticipated books, and yes, you will see this one on my top 13. So I'll talk a little bit about that, more about this one in that particular video. Spoilers. Marvel Masterworks, The Fantastic Four, Volume 2. This is the Remasterworks, collecting 11 through 20, and annual number 1. It has 336 pages, $75. New Mutants Epic Collection, The Demon Bear Saga. This is the new printing, collecting New Mutants 13 through 31, and annual number 1. If you missed out on it the first time, the first 2 times is the new printing, so this is the 3rd printing that it's had. Get it, because it will have a small print run. And I don't like to do FOMO on the channel, but I'm just speaking the truth. I don't want people to miss out on it in case they've been waiting on it. And that's why I do these type of videos, as a reminder that this is coming out this particular week, the 2nd week in October. So if you don't have it pre-ordered and you've been thinking about getting it, maybe make this one a priority so you don't miss out on it. I hate for anybody to miss out on something they've been waiting on. Star Wars Darth Vader by Greg Pak, Volume 7, Unbound Force, collecting Star Wars Darth Vader 33 through 36, and Darth Vader number 3. X-Force by Benjamin Percy, Volume 7, collecting X-Force 39 through 42. My gosh, this week is gonna take a beating on your wallet. What If Into the Multiverse Omnibus, Volume 1 is finally coming out this week, collecting What If number 1, and 1 through 39, Quasar number 30. Yeah, this has, oh my gosh. Okay, in case this isn't on my top 13, just because there's a lot of books coming out, this is a phenomenal series. This is the What If era I grew up with. This has 1,240 pages, $125. This is the late 80s, early 90s stories of What If. If you're a big fan of these Elseworld tales, of these possible different outcomes to classic stories, these are the ones that you need to get. Oh, they're so good. It's the era that I grew up with, so I love this stuff. From the world of DC Comics, we have the Dead Boy Detectives, the Sandman Universe classic. This is the stuff I've only read like 1 or 2 issues of, so I'm really curious about this book. This collects the Dead Boy Detectives 1 through 12, Sandman Presents Dead Boy Detectives 1 through 4, Sandman 25, Children's Crusade 1 and 2, Ghosts number 1, Witching Hour number 1, Time Warp number 1, Doom Patrol Annual 2, and Swamp Thing Annual number 7. So you have in here, it's Neil Gaiman is credited, as well as Ed Brubaker and Brian Talbot, as well as Jill Thompson, Matt Wagner, and Mark Buckingham. Looks like one hell of a team of creators. Absolute Transmetropolitan Volume 2. No word yet on a Volume 3 reprint, but this is the new printing of Volume 2, collecting Transmetropolitan 19 through 39, Vertigo Winter's Edge number 3, and Transmetropolitan Filth of the City number 1. So yeah, this is the stuff written by Warren Ellis, drawn by Derek Robertson and Rodney Ramos. $150, 544 pages. Wonder Woman, Blood and Guts, the deluxe edition. I love that new cover. We just had an omnibus reprint, but they are releasing the first 12 issues of Blood and Guts in a deluxe edition. This one's $49.99, 360 pages. Not done with Wonder Woman yet, because we're getting Wonder Woman the Silver Age Omnibus Volume 2 for those people that have been craving this stuff. Collecting Wonder Woman 124 to 149. So I think, do we need one more before we get into the I Ching era? Is that right? For that omnibus? The Neil Adams stuff? Let me know in the comments, please. Harley Quinn Volume 2, Keepsake. Stephanie Nicole Phillips and Riley Rosmo continue this series. And it doesn't say what it collects in here, though. Sometimes DC does that. From the world of manga, we have Alice in Kyoto Forest, Volume 1. And that is being published by Tokyo Pop. And we're also getting the Fox and Little Tanuki Volume 1. That looks completely adorable. I don't know if this is a reprint or what it is exactly, or maybe print on demand, but then again, it could be delayed. But if you know what it is, let me know. It looks awesome. We're also getting the Cat Gamer Volume 3. This is published by Dark Horse Comics. My daughter loved the first 2. And Osamu Dazai's No Longer Human is being published that week. This is $14.99. It's by Chika Ito. And this is an adaptation of that story. So it's not the Junji Ito No Longer Human. This is by Tuttle Publishing. And we're also getting Kitaro, Volume 1, Birth of Kitaro. Alpi Soul Sender Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Titan Comics. That freaking cover is beautiful. It's by Rona. It's created by Rona. It's art and the story is by Rona. And that is Titan Manga is publishing that. Betwixt Horror Anthology. Dude, you had me at Horror Anthology. This is published by Viz Comics. It is a hardcover. And let's see here. You have Akishimizu, Ryo Hanada, Shima Shinya. Awesome. Those are some of the creators, and of course, Junji Ito. And yeah, that looks like something up my alley. In the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have Animal Heads by Sun M and Sam Curtis. And that is $29.99, 296 pages. Critical Role, The Mighty Nine Origins Library Edition is coming out. So this collects Mighty Nine Origins, Jester Lavore, Caleb Widogast, Yasha Nidorin, and Not the Brave. And I'm so sorry if you watch that show. I'm sure I butchered the hell out of those names. IDW is publishing the Genius animated the cartoon of art of Alex Toth. I have this in hardcover. It's upstairs with my books, and it is a beautiful collection of his stuff from his Hanna-Barbera era. 30 Days a Night is getting a deluxe edition. Wow, I had no idea this was coming out in deluxe edition. This story right here, this is by Ben Templesmith and Steve Niles. It's the story of what if vampires were living in this town. I think it's in Alaska that doesn't have a sun, that doesn't see any sun for a month or so. And it always reminds me of that Tales from the Crypt story. So I don't know if that is where it originated from or not, but that is coming out. If you've not read it, it's regarded as one of the best horror books, and it is solid. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, The Illyrian Enigma is coming out, and that is by Kirsten Beyer, Mike Johnson, and Megan Levins. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Reborn Volume 7, Isolation is coming out, collecting. It's interesting that the trade paperbacks have been renumbered, but the hardcovers haven't. This collects issues 133 to 139, and it serves as a direct tie-in to the exciting TMNT The Armageddon Game event. Godzilla Library Collection Volume 1 is coming out, 376 pages, $19.99. But it is a soft cover, so it's a trade paperback. James Stokoe, John Layman, Chris Mowry are the creators in here. So it has the Gangsters and Goliath story. But you also have E.J. Sue, Tony Parker, and Dean Haspiel. Oh, and it Half Century Wars in here, which is a freaking awesome story. Sonic the Hedgehog, Seasons of Chaos. This continues the era of Sonic the Hedgehog at IDW. The Bloom County Library Edition, Book 3 is coming out, and this collects comic strips from 1984 to 1986. From the world of Image Comics, we have Dark Ride, Volume 2. This is by Joshua Williamson, Andre Brezen, and this collects Dark Ride 5 through 8. We're also getting The Giant Cockchew. This collects all 3 issues of the series by Jerry Duggan and Scott Koblish. Hell to Pay is coming out in a trade paperback format by Charles Soule and Will Sliney. This collects the first 6 issues. I Hate This Place Volume 2 is coming out by Kyle Starks and Lee Luffridge. And this collects issues 6 through 10 of that series. Octopus Pie. This is another one that was delayed. This is the trade paperback edition by Meredith Gran. And it is limited to 1,000 sets. So this one keeps moving and moving. And The Walking Dead 20th Anniversary. You may see this one move again. This collects all 8 volumes of the series in trade paperback. It's $125. And we're also getting The Walking Dead 20th Anniversary Box Set 2. I don't know if they will be released on the same day or not. This collects volumes 9 through 16 of the trade paperbacks. Monarch is coming out in trade paperback format, collecting the first 6 issues by Rodney Barnes and Alex Linz. And Noctera, boy, I love this series. This is the Scott Snyder and Tony Danielle series, but Francis Manapul is helping out with this particular volume. So you have Noctera or issues 12 through 16 collected in here, and Val Special. And from the world of Boom Comics, we're getting Berserker Volume 3. And it looks like they're starting to come out with Giant Days. Those were the ones that got kickstarted. John Allison and Max Sarin. And this collects this is Volume 3, sorry. Collecting issues 17 through 24. And we're also getting Grimm, trade paperback Volume 1. This is by Stephanie Phillips and Fabliano. Collecting the first 5 issues of that series. As well as the Jim Henson's Dark Crystal Discovery Adventure. And this looks to be like a kid's book, just by the dimensions look different. This is $14.99. And the musical, Jim Henson's Musical Monster of Turkey Hollow, also coming out. And honestly, they do look like kid books. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rise of Draken is coming out. I think this is a restock, if I'm not mistaken. This collects issues of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 9, 11 through 16, 23 through 24, and Go-Go Power Rangers 9 through 12. And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid is coming out in trade paperback, collecting Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 25 through 30, the free comic book day special, and Shattered Grid number 1. And that one is $29.99. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World is coming out in a trade paperback format. That's one that I've been wanting to read. This is the stuff by Jason Aaron and Lee Luffridge and Nick Dragotta and Rico Renzi. So this collects the first 5 issues of that series, Love in the Wasteland. And it's one that I've been wanting to read for a while. From Drawn and Quarterly, we have Are You Willing to Die for the Cause? That one is coming out in a hardcover format. And Best of Tharg's Terror Tales is coming out that very same week from Rebellion 2000 AD. Man, these anthologies. Serial is coming out that very same week as well. And that is being published by Ahoy Comics. My wife loves that publisher. Fantagraphics Underground Teenage Tupelo is coming out in a hardcover format. And we're also getting Mobilis in hardcover format. Brilliant Friend is being published by Europa Editions. And that is coming out that very same week. As well as Rick and Morty, the Compendium, is coming out Volume 1. And this is being published by Oni Press for $39.99. Walt Disney's Donald Duck, the Maharaj Donald, the complete collection is coming out that very same week. And man, I love this stuff. I can't believe we're getting there. We're getting 2 a year, but we're getting there. The Adventures of God is coming out in trade paperback format, and that is Volume 2. And The Art of Zims is coming out in a hardcover format by 3D Total Publishing. And Bad Love is coming out in a trade paperback format. Cat Ninja, Volume 5, Cat's Claws, coming out in hardcover and in trade paperback format. Creepover, Volume 5, There's Something Out There. And that is being published, if I'm not mistaken, by Simon Spotlight. Yeah. I think that one was due out. It's been delayed 1 week, so hopefully it'll come out that week. That one's, the cover alone had my curiosity. And we're also getting Curses in trade paperback format. This is by Avery Hill Publishing. Don't Spit in the Wind is coming out from Mad Cave Studios. And man, for some reason I thought that was Keith Giffen on art, but it is Stefano Cardoselli. And that one looks freaking crazy. That cover alone looks awesome. The Gratuitous Ninja Card Box is coming out, and that is a graphic novel. As well as Golden Voice, Ballad of Cambodian Rock's Lost Queen is coming out. And that is being published by Humanoids Publishing. How Gherkins Stole Christmas is coming out in a hardcover format. And that is being published by Dynamite. And Kilchella is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is by Scout Comics. And we're also getting How to Completely Lose Your Mind Indie Band. I don't know if I need that. Well, maybe somebody does. Legacy of Violence is coming out in trade paperback, and that is a volume 2. And we're also getting Mariko Between Worlds, and that is being published by Bad Cave Studios as well. And that is by Matthew Ehrman and Liana Kanga. Mr. Zip's Windy Day is coming out in hardcover format. I don't know why, it reminds me of the drawing from The Simpsons, the original creator of Itchy and Scratchy. I don't know why. Not All Robots is coming out. This is the new edition. And I think this is an Eisner winner by Mark Russell, Mike Deodato. It's published by AWA. And One in a Million is coming out. That is published by Candlewick Press. The week of October 17th from Marvel Comics is Hawkeye coming out, leading the way for the rest of the books. This is volume 2, The Way of the Arrow. So, Epic Collection collecting solo Avengers 1 through 20 and Avengers Spotlight 21. It's been a couple of years since the first volume. At this moment, I just want to remind everybody to smash that like button, please. That goes a long way here on the channel, and it's a very small thing you can do, but it really does mean the world to us. And X-Men Red by Al Ewing, Volume 3 is coming out, collecting X-Men Red 11 through 13 and Before the Fall, Heralds of Apocalypse. Extreme Venomverse, my wonderful wife just grabbed this book as soon as it came out. As soon as I got it, and she started reading it. This collects Extreme Venomverse 1 through 5. It's by Ryan North and Paulo Siqueira. Cosmic Ghost Rider Dual Identity by Stephanie Phillips and Juan Cabal is coming out, collecting the 5-issue miniseries from 2023. Wolverine by Benjamin Percy Volume 6, collecting Wolverine 31 through 35. Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells Volume 6, Dead Language Part 2 is coming out. And this collects Amazing Spider-Man 24 through 26, Annual Number 1, Fallen Friend Number 1, and material from Free Comic Book Day 2023 Spider-Man Venom. Star Wars The High Republic Phase 1 Omnibus. Both covers are coming out that same day. Star Wars The High Republic 1 through 15. The High Republic Eye of the Storm 1 and 2. Star Wars The High Republic Trail of Shadows 1 through 5 is collected in here. 544 pages, $100. Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones. So this is part of the Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones series. I think it continues from here into another book, but this collects the first 5 issues, or maybe it's just a miniseries, and please correct me if I'm wrong, by Emily Kim and Kei Zama. It's 128 pages, $17.99. And from the world of DC Comics, we have Batman 3 Jokers finally coming out in trade paperback. Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok collecting the 3-issue miniseries that had everybody talking. Power Girl returns. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. If I did clickbait thumbnails, I would have used that. Wow. Leah Williams writing this. I love their X Factor. She's a solid writer. Collecting Lazarus Planet, Assault on Krypton, Action Comics 1051 to 1053, and Power Girl Special. My goodness. 144 pages, $14.99. Deceased box set is coming out. $100 collecting Deceased, Unkillables, Dead Planet. These are all miniseries, by the way. Hope at World's End, and War of the Undead Gods. So all of them are collected in here. And it is trade. They are trade paperbacks. 992 pages and $100. The Felspire Chronicles Book 1. This is the trade paperback version of The Last God, but due to some copyrights of the name, Philip Kennedy Johnson was told that he had to change it. And it's funny, I got to talk to him at Baltimore Comic Con, and he was saying, I never liked the name The Last God. The Felspire Chronicles works even better. So, if you haven't read this stuff is amazing. I loved it, and I want some more of this stuff. From the world of manga on the week of October 17th, A Stepmother's Marchin' Volume 1 is coming out. And this is being published by 7 Seas Entertainment. I love those borders, that frame around the picture. This gives me that 90s feel. Asadora continues with Volume 7. My wife, the Astonishing Melanie, loves this. And wrapping up the deluxe editions, Bladedly Immortal, Deluxe Edition Volume 10. If you've been enjoying it, man, you're in for the ending now. Ugh. I love that book. One of my favorites. Bocchi the Rock is coming out, or Bocchi the Rock, sorry, by Aki Hamazi. This is being published by Yen Press. Volume 1 is coming out that week. And Yum Press is also coming out with the Clamp Premium Collection, Tokyo Babylon Volume 1. Spy Family continues with the Volume 10. And we're also getting the Breasts Are My Favorite Things in the World, Volume 7. Continuing those mighty misadventures. What the hell was I saying? I don't. Where was I? Dungeon Friends Forever. That's what I was saying. Dungeon Friends Forever is coming out that week. All right, let's keep going with the world of Dark Horse Comics with Signals Volume 1. This is created by Nika, and this is an original graphic novel, $24.99. This is Old Neighborhoods, and 256 pages. Star Wars Tales from the Death Star by Kevin Scott, who's just all over. People love his stuff, and he is a solid writer. But I know he's written novels and, of course, comics. And this has got art by Ingo Romling, Sue Lee, and Juan Samu. This is a hardcover for $24.99, but it's 96 pages. And Hans Vogel is Dead, Volume 1. I've been wanting to read that since I saw the cover and I saw the name. This is by Sierra Barnes. And I don't know if this was an original graphic novel. It doesn't say what it collects in here. It's 280 pages, $29.99. Project Monarch. It's coming out by Michael Avon Oming and Victor Santos. $19.99 and 128 pages. Project Monarch was a real CIA operation, and here's the Eisner Award-winning creator Michael Avon Oming and Victor Santos teaming up for this action satire original graphic novel. Creepy Archives Volume 3 is coming out in trade paperback format, 288 pages, $24.99, collecting issues 11 through 15. Hellboy and the BPRD, The Secret of Chesborough House and Other Stories, and this is $19.99, 160 pages. Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Volume 1. So based on the Kevin Smith series, collecting the first 4 issues by Tim Seeley. And you have art in here by Sergio Aragones, Kelly Jones, Eddie Nunez, and Victor Santos. Holy crap, that is awesome. Wow, that is some talented people working on that book. Air, Volume 4. Thank you all that commented on my last video about the trade paperback that this wraps up the series by G. Willow Wilson and M.K. Perker. 168 pages, $19.99. From the world of IDW, Richard Stark's Parker, the complete collection, is coming out in a compendium type of book. So it's a trade paperback, 520 pages, $69.99. Look, I'm not going to lie. This top 13 is going to be difficult. This would be number 14. If you've never read Richard Stark's Parker, like any of the novels, do yourself a favor. Even if you have read them. What Darwin Cook was doing with this is the stuff he worked on right before he passed away too, is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. He is an amazing artist, and the color tones, oh, beautiful, beautiful stories. If you haven't had a chance to read them, and the big oversized hardcovers aren't your way of reading books, then get this trade. It's amazing. Star Trek Library Collection Volume 2. This is a trade paperback for $29.99, 272 pages. And it's got, wow, delve into the history of over 400 issues of IDW's Star Trek. I had no idea it went on for that long. Like I said, I'm not much of a Star Trek guy, but that's freaking awesome for the people that have been collecting them that long. From Image Comics, we have Blood Tree coming out. Peter Tomasi and Maxim Simic working on this book. All right, Peter, we need that omnibus, buddy. I'm kidding. I love talking to that guy. Every convention, we joke about how an omnibus... He jokes with me that omnis suck, and I'm like, what are you talking about, man? But he loves collecting these things. He's a collector and one hell of a writer. Invincible, the complete library is coming out. Volume 4. They are bringing these big books back, and they are reprinting some of the older volumes. I need to get a schedule from the fine folks at Skybound to see what they've got planned. But this collects Invincible 71 through 96, as well as, I think it collects the annual. It's over 600 pages, and it pretty much puts the Ultimate Collection 7 and 8 together in there. It's $125. And we're also getting Two Graves, trade paperback volume 1 by Genevieve Valentine and Ming Doyle, collecting the first 6 issues of this series. Walking Dead box set 3. Boy, if you're into Walking Dead and you haven't collected the trade paperbacks, this month's going to break your wallet. Wow. And from the world of Boom Comics, we have Dune. And this is House Harkonnen, hardcover volume 1. So this is Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson and Michael Shelfer working on this book. It's interesting because Abrams Books is doing the adaptation of the novels, and then this is the spin-off series. So this collects the first 4 issues of that. And Jim Henson's Dark Crystals, Creation Myths, the complete collection. I believe this is a new printing of the book that came out originally from Archaea Books, if I'm not mistaken. And then when Boom absorbed them or bought them, they haven't done a reprint of that. So this one is $75, and it is a beautiful freaking book if you haven't had a chance to go and read it. Alley Oop, Back to the Moon is coming out in trade paperback format from Manuscript Press. Magical History Tour, Volume 13, Marie Curie, is coming out that week. This is from Paper Cuts. The Incal Kill Wolfhead is coming out. Oh man, I can't wait to read that one. I love the previous 2 volumes. They've just been so freaking awesome. World of Warcraft, Exploring Azeroth, hardcover is coming out that week, as well as Artificial, a love story, coming out in a hardcover format, and that is by Catapult. Baby Blues Collection, trade paperback, Not Guilty, is coming out. This is another book that is in landscape format. Carthago Kane is coming out from Humanoids. I was a big fan of the first book. The second one was okay, so I'm curious about this one. Chromatic Fantasy is coming out in a trade paperback format from Silver Sprocket. And then we're getting The City of Dragons, Volume 2, Rise of the Shadow Fire. That is an awesome freaking title. The Complete Dick Tracy, Volume 2. This is a hardcover collecting 1933 to 1935. The Complete Jontar is coming out, and that is being published by Power Comics. And we're also getting Dead Beats Omnibus Volume 5 from Comic Mix. And there's going to be a Volume 6 as well coming out. Well, they have it coming out that week, but I don't know. Some of these things just run late. And Dungeon Zenith, Volume 5, Fog and Tears is coming out that week. And that is being published by NBM. And we're also getting Everything is Fine, Volume 2. This is a hardcover collection and a softcover collection coming out that same week from Webtoons Unscrolled. Frank Miller's Pandora is finally coming out that week. And I say finally because when I had Dan Didio on the show, he was talking about how that book was supposed to come out last week, but they wanted to make sure that Frank Miller Presents, the publishing, got the book right, like printed in the right way. And we're also getting the Hip Hop Family Tree Omnibus. So if you're a big fan of Ed Piskor and the Kayfabe guys, this is the book for you. And it is coming out from Fantagraphics. If You'll Have Me is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is being published by Viking Books for Young Readers. And we're also getting Illegal Cargo. It's coming out in a hardcover format from Black Panel Press. And we're getting Junior Trade Paperback Volume 1. And that is being published by Scout Comics. And Lone Sloan Babel is coming out in a hardcover format from Titan Comics. Babel or Babel? What do you all say? Wait, I can't hear you. Never mind. Write it down in the comments anyway. Mad Cave Studios Legacy Battle Cats is coming out. I love that series. That's one of my hidden gems. I had Mark London on the show a couple of years ago. I love just how much passion he has for comics, and I'm glad that that company is doing so well. Moonray Mother's Skin is coming out in a hardcover format, and that is being published by Living the Line, and it looks insane. Brandon Graham, the guy that did Prophet, I love that book, and Zurzo Penalta are working on this book, and it just looks nuts. And Living the Line, they're putting out some phenomenal books. And Neil Adams' Vault Softcover Edition Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. So it looks like they're publishing stuff that wasn't published by the big two or Image Comics. I think, was that Topps that did that particular book? Parker Girls Omnibus is coming out in a hardcover format if you weren't able to get it through Terry Moore's shop. Pittsburgh is coming out in a hardcover format, and that is being published by New York Review Comics. Tales from Nottingham, Volume 1. Boy, this seems to be a Mad Cave heavy week. Is coming out that very same week from Mad Cave Studios. And Nottingham is a phenomenal series. The Little Red Wolf is coming out in a hardcover and a trade paperback from Oni Press. Watership Down, the graphic novel, is coming out that week. And this is when they're releasing the Wasted Space Cosmic Collection hardcover. Now, if you're interested in any of the books we've talked about so far, check out our sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
The week of October 24th from Marvel Comics, we have Thor by Jason Aaron Omnibus Volume 2. Collecting the remaining issues by Jason Aaron in his 7 years on Thor. So this collects the 2015 Thor 13 through 23, when the title was changed to the legacy number 700 to 706, collecting Unworthy Thor 1 through 5, Generations, The Unworthy Thor, and Mighty Thor at the Gates of Valhalla, and then Thor the 2018 relaunch 1 through 16, War of the Realms, all 6 issues, and then King Thor 1 through 4, wrapping up the series. 1,368 pages, $150. Moon Knight Epic Collection Death Watch. So this collects the Mark Spector Moon Knight 39 through 51, Moon Knight Divided We Fall number 1, Moon Knight Special number 1, Web of Spider-Man 93 to 94, material from Marvel Comics Presents 152 to 154. So this is the Terry Cavanagh era of Moon Knight, and this is I think it's Gary Quapis that does the artwork for this, and then of course Dennis Cohen. This is $44.99, 496 pages. Marvel's Omnibus returns. So both covers available the same day, collecting Deadpool Merc with a Mouth 1 through 13, Zombies Christmas Carol 1 through 5, Marvel Zombies Destroy 1 through 5, the Halloween one-shot Marvel Zombies the 2015 series 1 through 4, Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies 1 through 4, Marvel Zombie number 1, Marvel Zombies Resurrection the 2019 one-shot, and then the 2020 Resurrection 1 through 4. 976 pages, $125. We're also getting the Marvel Studios Werewolf by Night, the art special here. This is a hardcover, 200 pages, and $80. Alpha Flight is coming out with the new printing this particular week. Oh my gosh, this is top 13. Okay, this is not in the top. This would have been 15. Alpha Flight by John Byrne Omnibus. Maybe I should have just done a top 15. What the hell's wrong with me? Nope, sticking with 13. But breaking the rules a little bit. Loopholes, that's what life's about. Collecting X-Men 109, 120 to 121, 139 to 140. Incredible Hulk 272 to 272 and 313, not to 313. Annual number 8, Machine Man number 18, Marvel 2 and 1, 83 and 84, Alpha Flight 1 through 29, X-Men and Alpha Flight 1 and 2, X-Men and Alpha Flight 1 and 2 from the 1998 series, so you have the 1985 X-Men Alpha Flight and the 1998, and the material for Marvel Team Up number 7. John Byrne, man, he was doing some awesome stuff in this book. 1,248 pages, $125. She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell Volume 3, Girl Can't Help It, collecting She-Hulk 11 through 15, and I think the series has been renamed to Sensational She-Hulk again? This is Hallows Eve, her first trade paperback, collecting the first 5 issues by Erica Schultz and Michael Dowling, and she's a character that has appeared in the pages of Zeb Wells' run on Spider-Man. Hellcat, Devil on My Shoulder. Yes, I can't wait to read this book. Chris Cantwell continuing his stories with Hellcat, but also Iron Man. That run was so good. Iron Man and Hellcat Annual number 1, and Hellcat 1 through 5, the 2023 series. Rorari Coleman and Alex Lins are the artists on that. Daredevil Epic Collection, the new printing, Mike Murdoch Must Die. So this collects issues 22 to 41, annual number 1, Fantastic 473, and material from Not Brand number 4. 520 pages, $49.99. The Marvel Masterworks, The Tomb of Dracula Volume 3 is coming out, collecting Tomb of Dracula 23 to 30, Giant Size Chillers number 1, Giant Size Dracula 2 and 3, and then material from Vampire Tales 6, Dracula Lives 10 through 11, and Marvel Preview 12 and 16. $75, 368 pages. The Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, The Curing of Dr. Banner, is coming out, and this collects issues 201 to 226 and annual number 6, so continuing more of the Len Wein era with our pal Sal Buscema. Roger Stern also supplying some of the writing in there, as well as Ernie Chan. And Predator by Ed Brisson, Volume 2, The Preserve. I like the first one, so this collects the 2023 5-issue miniseries. So let me know if you've read this one. Excellent. The Unsocial Media, continuing more of the Ecstatics, more of that X-Force by Peter Milligan and Mike Allred. This is the new series, Excellent 1 through 5, and $15.99, and it is 112 pages. From the world of DC Comics, we have Superman for All Seasons, the trade paperback, collecting all 4 issues. And this is 232 pages, $19.99. iZombie, the complete series Omnibus. This is the new printing, collecting iZombie 1 through 28, House of Mystery, Halloween Annual Number 1, and House of Mystery, Halloween Annual Number 2. $125, 672 pages. And this is by Chris Robertson and artwork by Mike Allred and Laura Allred. The Detective Chimp Casebook. I love the fact that this is a hardcover here, with that awesome Brian Boland cover. This is by John Broome and Carmine Infantino, collecting Amazing Worlds of DC Comics 1, DC Comics Presents 35, DC Comics Specials number 1, Tarzan 231 and 234 and 235, Adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog 4, 6 through 46, that must be material from that, and Who's Who, the Definitive Directory of the DC Universe number 6. 280 pages, $29.99. The Nice House on the Lake, the deluxe edition, is coming out by James Tynion and Alvaro Martino Bueno. This is, oh my gosh, this won all kinds of Eisners, like Best New Series, Best Writer, Best Coloring by Jordi Belair, Best Continuing Series, Best Penciler and Inker, collecting the 12-issue maxi series, 424 pages, $49.99. The Human Target Book 1 is coming out in a trade paperback format. This is the Tom King and Greg Smallwood series, and this collects the first 6 issues. This is another one that I think won Eisners for Best Limited Series and Best Penciler Inker. Stargirl, The Lost Children. I can't wait to read this. Jeff Johns, Todd Knock, collecting The Lost Children 1 through 6, and the Stargirl Spring Break Special number 1. This is the character of Courtney, who is based on Jeff Johns' sister, who passed away. Plane crash. Oh my goodness! I think it was the 90s, the late 90s. Titans United, Blood Pact. Kevin Scott writing this. Thought he was just working on Star Wars. Nope. This is Titans United, Blood Pact 1 through 6, and Lucas Meyer supplying the artwork. And from the world of manga, we have Staten the Wolf coming out from Tokyo Pop, and we're also getting Seven Fates Chaco Volume 1. That is being published by Ise Press, and which is also Yen Press. We're also getting the Afro Samurai box set coming out that very same week. This is one that I got to announce. There's a direct market and a standard edition cover, if you're interested in that particular series, and it is awesome. If you've never read it, it's just like the anime. Cheerful Amnesia Volume 1 is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Yen Press. We're also getting The First Night with Duke Volume 1, and that one there is published by NetComics, but not only just Volume 1, NetComics is also publishing Volumes 2 and 3. These are $22.99 each. And Full Metal Alchemist, the 20th anniversary hardcover book is coming out. It's a memorial hardcover collection that celebrates the legacy of the manga. Hiromu Arakawa is both writing and drawing that particular hardcover. It will go well with your other hardcovers. And we're also getting Mimi's Tales of Terror. Man, more of these anthologies. Hell yes. Bring them all on. I don't know if I'll have time to read all these, but oh my gosh, I love those. That is Junji Ito and published by Viz. Promised Neverland, the complete box set. So this one is complete. All the volumes are in there. And Spectre Man Heroes is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by, I believe this one is Antarctic Press, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're still publishing books like this. Awesome. From other publishers from the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have Turtle Bread, a graphic novel about baking, fitting in, the power of friendship. Hell yes. This is Kim Joy. I want to say the debut graphic novel from the Great British Bake Off star and author Kim Joy. So I was right. It is my buddy and co-host of Reels Talk, the amazing Amanda, loves the Great British Bake Off. So I think she was telling me that it was one of the contestants, or maybe one of the judges. I don't know. I sort of listen. Black Hammer Library Edition Volume 3 is coming out that week. And this collects Black Hammer Reborn 1 through 12 in a big, beautiful deluxe edition. $49.99, 328 pages. And from the world of IDW, we're getting Dungeons & Dragons Knights of Endless Adventure. This is the Jim Sub book and Max Dunbar doing the artwork here. And we're also getting Sonic the Hedgehog, Volume 15, Urban Warfare by Ian Flynn and Evan Stanley, Adam Bryce Thomas. And this collects the Sonic the Hedgehog 57 through 61. Hopefully, we'll have more of those hardcovers. Dead Seas. This is by another book by Kevin Scott. Man, that guy is just getting them all out there. Nick Brokenshire is the artist on that book. And we're getting Bill Sienkiewicz, Mutant, Moon Knights, and Assassins. This is the Artisan Edition. So this is the paperback version of those big, beautiful Artist Edition books. 172 pages, $39.99. What If We Were, Volume 2 by Excella Lenore. And this is part of the IDW / Top Shelf Productions. From the world of Image Comics, we're getting the Astro City Metro Book Volume 4. Kurt Busiek, Brent Anderson, Tom Grumet, and Jesus Merino. Collecting Astro City Samaritan 1, Beauty 1, Astra 1 and 2, Astro City Volume 3, 1 through 10, and 22 through 24, as well as Volume 7, or issue number 17. And Moonshine, the complete collection hardcover, one of my most anticipated books, collecting all 28 issues. Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo. I only read the first trade and I dug it. Not as good as their 100 Bullets, but big fan of Eduardo Rizzo's art. Definitely a different time too. Regression is coming out, the complete collection hardcover, collecting all 15 issues of Regression. This is by Cullen Bunn. And we're also getting Spawn, Origins number 13, collecting issues 152 to 163. David Hine, Angel Medina, Nat Jones working on that particular era. And the Telos Saga. This is the Todd DeZago book with Mike Wieringo on artwork. It was a wonderful love project from both of the creators. And the Walking Dead box set is coming out, the 20th anniversary. This is when the 4th box set is coming out. From the world of Boom Studios, we're getting Buffy the Vampire Slayer Lost Summers is coming out in trade paperback format. This is Casey Gilly and Joe Jarrow collecting the Vampire Slayer Special number 1 and the Lost Summer number 1. And Firefly Returned to the Earth That Was, Volume 2. Greg Pak, Simona Di Gianfelici, and Bengal, collecting Firefly 29 through 32. And Harrower is coming out in a trade paperback format by Justin Jordan and Brong Rebel, collecting Harrower 1 through 4. As far as other publishers for that same week, we are getting the Fantagraphics is releasing not just Volume 9 of the Disney Masters Collector's Edition, but also Volume 10. Man, they don't care about my wallet. Yep, so I gotta get those. I love those books. And it's the ones that have come out individually, but they just put them in a box set. And we're also getting No Rest for the Wicked, Dead Man Hand Special Edition. That is being published by Source Point Press. Also from Source Point Press, A Guardian Volume 1, the collected edition. is coming out, and Action Philosophers from Rocket Ship Entertainment is coming out. Fantagraphics is putting out the alchemical journey through the major arcana of tarot. That is a mouthful, by Nina Bunjevec. And it looks like tarot cards. Okay. But it looks like a collection of that stuff. Archie the Giant Comics Shimmer is coming out in a trade paperback format. Arn Anderson, My Life as the Enforcer. Is this the wrestler? Oh, it has to be. Well, no, it's not I thought it was AWA. Yes, it is the wrestler, Arn Anderson. This is by Dirk Manning. It's published by Source Point Press. And, knock on wood, woo, it's been a while. Baby Teeth Omnibus, Born and Raised, Cradle to the Grave. So, the complete series, released by Aftershock, has a date of October 25th, $99.99. Knock on wood, I think I've been talking about this book for about a year and a half. I've had it. So it still is in my top 10 from whenever I had it. That still counts. Bad Medicine is coming out in a trade paperback format from Emanata Books. I'm sure they don't appreciate me saying it like that. Emanata. Darkness We Brought Back is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Seismic. And that is the Darkness We Brought Back. I love that title. And Diaries of War is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is being published by 10 Speed Press. Disaster Dates and Lucky Escapes is published by Kyle Books. And we're also getting the enormous trade paperback Extinction Level event. Fantagraphics is publishing the Fantagraphics Underground John Severin book here. And man, that looks good. That is the Westerns collection featuring American Eagle. And this is his stuff from the 1950s EC books, which are just phenomenal. Fascinating Folklore Compendium of Comics and Essays is coming out in a hardcover format by Liminal 11. And we're also getting the first There Was Chaos, the Hesiod's story of creation hardcover. That is coming out from Uncivilized Books. Good Boy, Volume 3, The Prodigal Son is coming out. And that is being published by Source Point Press. One of my viewers loves that series. Hard Switch is coming out in a trade paperback format. This is published by Avery Hill Publishing. And we're also getting the Horizon Zero Dawn box set. And that is being published by Titan Comics. That's awesome. Wonder Man, he loves that series. And we're getting the I Must Be Dreaming trade paperback. And that is published by Bloomsbury. Kafka Adaptation is coming out that week. And that's published by Pushkin Press. It's Franz Kafka and Yoshioka Kyodai working on that particular book. And Life and Death of the Brave Captain Suave is coming out that week. Scout Comics is publishing that particular book. And Maniac of New York, There's Something About Harry hardcover is coming out. And that is published by Aftershock Comics. We're also getting Melvin Monster coming out in trade paperback, as well as the Michael Moorcock, finally, Michael Moorcock Elric, the deluxe edition, White Wolf. These books are beautiful, huge books. I know I did an overview of them on it was a haul, one of my haul videos. Midnight Western Theater trade paperback volume 1 is coming out from Scout Comics, as well as the Molang Fun and Friends. And that's being published by Source Point Press. They're just coming out with lots of books. And we're getting My Brother's Blood Machine trade paperback coming out. Is that an Iron Maiden? Steve Niles and Andrew Ritchie working on this book by Evil Inc. And Mysterium, the Spectral Servant collected edition coming out that week. And that is being published by Source Point is just knocking these books left and right, because they're also publishing the Nightmare World, the complete collection coming out that week. Oblivion Trial is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Source Point Press. Yeah, I feel like they're just putting out a bunch of stuff. The Peanuts trade paperback Snoopy Touchdown And Pre-Code Classics Adventures Comics, Volume 7. Now, this stuff is also collected in a slipcase edition, too, not just in a hardcover format. Ralph Azam, Volume 4, The Dying Flame, is coming out that week, and that is published by Paper Cuts. Love that Paper Cuts is still pumping out stuff, too. Science Comic Frogs, hardcover, and a trade paperback from First Second Books. And we're also getting the Silver Age, Hunters and Prey, coming out that very same week, as well as the Stephen King Dark Tower, the Gunslinger Omnibus hardcover. People have asked me what this is exactly. It's a reprint of what Marvel put out, the stuff by Peter David and Robin Firth and Jay Lee and Richard Eisenhower. But this, I believe, is not a slipcase, and I think it's just a standard size hardcover. Strangers in Paradise, Volume 2, the new printing of the trade paperback is coming out. And Super Bubba Cafe, it's a hardcover, Volume 1. As well as the Tales of Mystery. And this is a Volume 5, Rockstar Paranoia. The 13th Floor is coming out from Rebellion 2000 AD, but not just Volume 2, Volume 3 is coming out. And there's also the return of the Max, and that's also one of the 13th Floor books. Time Under Tension, Volume 1 is coming out from Fantagraphics Books. Twisted Haunted High-Ons is coming out from Source Point Press. And we're also getting Ultramax, Volume 1, published by Source Point Press. Yeah, they are just this week, man. This is Source Point Press week. Unended, Volume 1. Or actually, no, it's just... This is Uncivilized Books, and it's just an original graphic novel. Vampirella, Dracula Unholy is coming out that week from Dynamite, as well as Vic Boone, Malfunction Murder. And that's being published by Invader Comics. And Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge gift, the box set, 24 Karat, is coming out that week. From Marvel Comics on October 31st or November 1st, we're getting Captain America Cold War Aftermath. And I say that just because I don't know where you all get your books. This collects Captain America Symbol of Truth 14, Captain America, they're going back to the Legacy number 750, and then Captain America, the finale. And we're also getting the Edge of Spider-Verse, the Bleeding Edge. So Dan Slott's still writing some more of these books. And this collects the Edge of Spider-Verse, the 2023 series, all 4 issues. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's Daredevil Gallery Edition is coming out. This is collecting Daredevil Yellow 1 through 6. So if you enjoyed the Daredevil or Spider-Man Blue, pick that one up too. This one's just, it's good. Spider-Man Blue still, to me, has always been the best. I love it. Star Wars Legends, the Empire Omnibus Volume 2. Finally coming out. So we're getting Star Wars Dark Times Fire Carrier 1 through 5, A Spark Remains 1 through 5, Star Wars Darth Vader and the Ninth Assassin 1 through 5, Darth Vader and the Cry of Shadows 1 through 5, Star Wars Droids Special Number 1, the Droids 1994 series, all 6 issues, the 95 series, all 8 issues, the Protocol Offensive, and the materials from Star Wars Visionaries, Star Wars Tales 11 through 12, 15 and 20, Dark Horse Presents Annual 99, and Star Wars Galaxy Magazine number 1. So $125, 1,032 pages. Spider-Man Deadpool Modern Era Epic Collection, Isn't It Bromantic? Collecting Spider-Man Deadpool 1 through 14 and 17 and 18 and 1.mu. And I'm sure the other stuff that's missing in here will be in Volume 2. Demon Wars Treasury Edition coming out this week. I love the original Demon Wars, but this is the follow-up to Peach Momoko series of Demon Days. So this collects Demon Wars, The Iron Samurai, Shield of Justice, Down in Flames, and Scarlet Sin. 144 pages. It's a big treasury size edition, and $34.99. From the world of DC Comics, we are getting Bodies. And this is the new edition by Cy Spencer and Phil Winslade. And this collects issues 1 through 8 of that series. JLA, JSA, Virtue and Vice. This is the new edition by Jeff Johns and David Goyer. Carlos Pacheco, if you've not read this, it is amazing. It is in the omnibus, if you have the omnis of the JSA. But oh, it's so good if you've not read this stuff. And artwork by Carlos Pacheco. Oh yes, Lazarus Planet: Revenge of the Gods. G. Willow Wilson, and that cover is freaking awesome. And Cian Tormey are some of the creators behind that. Super Sons Omnibus Super Duper Edition. Oh my gosh, Peter Tomasi has had this book released 3 times, and they keep adding more things, and I'm an idiot. I'll get it again. Collecting Super Sons 1 through 16's annual number 1, Super Sons Dynamite number 1, Superman 10 and 11 and 37 and 38, Teen Titans 15, Adventures of Super Sons 1 through 12, and then the newly added Challenge of the Super Sons 1 through 7, and a short story from Robin 80th Anniversary 100-page Super Spectacular. So when I talked to Peter Tomasi, he said, I promise this is the last one. Because he didn't feel like adding that one story from Batman Superman would do it justice, because they're grown up in there, and he was like, I just want to keep it, when they were young. So Patrick Gleason, Peter Tomasi, Carlos Barberi, Jorge Jimenez, 888 pages, $125. If you haven't picked it up, do yourself a favor. This book is amazing. And don't forget to smash that like button, please. It's a small thing you can do. It's a nice reminder from me. Nice reminder? Of course it's a nice reminder. It's a reminder from me. So be nice. That's what I meant to say. Uncanny Omar talked pretty one day. Batman Gotham by Gaslight. The new printing, $19.99. It is a trade paperback. 208 pages. From the world of manga, we have Inside Tentacle Cave. That doesn't sound fun. At all. Why would anybody go exploring in that cave? Kamen Rider Kuga, Volume 4, that's published by Titan Manga. My cat is such a weirdo. Oh my gosh. My daughter is going to love that book. Or, it just looks ridiculous. That's published by Seven Seas Entertainment. And we're getting Ogami-san Can't Keep It In, Volume 1. And that is published by Kodansha. That can't be... Is this an adult title? It doesn't say it's an adult title. Alright. Can't Keep It In. Got it. Maybe he's talking about his pencil and the pencil sharpener. I don't know. Rick and Morty the manga is coming. I didn't even know this was a thing. Man, there's manga adaptations of everything. Robotics Notes, Volume 1. Oh my gosh, yes. This is the collection of, what is it, Stain Gates, I think? But it's Robotic Notes, and it's published by Udon Entertainment. This is one of 3. This one is $24.99. I love that artwork. Witch Hat Atelier is back in this culinary spin-off that lets readers try their hand at recreating. Okay, so it is like a cookbook. I was right. Sherlock, Scandal in Belgravia. Box set 1 and 2 is coming out that same week. And They Were 11 is getting the new printing. Now, this has been postponed. But it looks like it's coming out from Dempa Books, and that was one in my top 10 most wanted a few months ago. Maybe at the beginning of the year. And it still remains there because, oh my gosh, yes, that's such a good book, not to be missed out on. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we're getting Tomahawk Angel, Volume 1 by Chris Robinson, and Odysseus Therarotos. Wow, that's an awesome name. A.K.A. Mangaka Odi. Like your name more than your AKA. The Unlikely Story of Felix and Macabre. This is by Juniba and Hassan Otsmane Elau. And so butchering that. That looks really good, though. That looks like it's up my alley. This is an original graphic novel. $24.99. Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, The Monster of Temple Peak, and Other Stories. Kevin Scott again. Avatar, The Last Airbender, Azula, In the Spirit Temple. And this is $12.99. It's 80 pages. Those books sell like crazy in the book market, by the way. For people that don't know anything about those books, they sell like crazy in the book market. Stranger Things, Library Edition. I didn't even know they were doing library editions of Stranger Things. Greg Pak and Michael Moresi. Chris Robertson. $39.99 and has 208 pages, collecting the Tomb of Yebuen 1 through 4 and the holiday specials Halloween, Winter, and Summer. Monster Size Hellboy. $149.99, 1,512 pages. That is a huge book. Powers, Volume 5. Collecting Power Series 2, 19 through 30, Annual 2008, and the behind-the-scenes content. This is the new printing, because Brian Michael Bendis is taking his stuff over to Dark Horse, and they're publishing this stuff now. From the world of IDW, we're getting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the IDW Collection Volume 3. This is the paperback version, collecting issues 21 through 28. And then the Old Hob, Alopex, Karai, Hun, Bebop and Rocksteady, and Shredder micro series, plus the 2012 annual. Breath of Shadows is coming out, and this is a paperback, 136 pages, $17.99. That artwork there is by Alex Cormack, and Rich Dweck is the writer. From the world of Image Comics, we're getting Bad Karma coming out in hardcover, Alex DeCampi. And this, I think, this is the first printing, and it's limited to 4,000 copies. Interesting. And they did that with the Octopus box set, too. Limited to 1,000. And Invincible trade paperback is coming out with a new edition, collecting with a new cover too, collecting issues 8 through 13, $14.99. Spawn, the cover gallery hardcover coming out. This is $19.99, and it collects the covers of Spawn 1 through 100. So if you have the compendiums and they didn't have the covers, you can pick this up. And Giant Days Volume 4, the library edition, is coming out that day, as well as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Deluxe Edition Book 1. Now, this is the new series. This is after the Shattered Grid and Beyond the Grid. This collects Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1 through 8, Power Rangers 1 through 8, and because there's two series, Power Rangers Unlimited Edge of Darkness 1, Power Rangers Unlimited Heir to the Darkness 1, and a new short story from Andre Fratino, and $75. Ryan Parrott, L.L. McKinney, and Marco Rena are some of the creators behind that book. And from Fantagraphics, we're getting a Christmas Bestiary by John Ken Mortensen and Benny Bodker. That is a creepy freaking cover. Right in time for Halloween, too. And we're getting After, the graphic novel. This is by Wattpad Books, as well as the All-in-One Life. This looks to be a landscape type of book, and it's published by Fantagraphics. Asterix is coming out with a volume 40. This is published by Paper Cuts, Asterix and White Iris. Atlas Comics Library Collection is coming out. This is Adventure into Terror volume 1, also published by Fantagraphics. And we're getting Disturbed Dark Messiah in trade paperback format, as well as some Doctor Who. We're getting Doctor Who, the Cyberman Ultimate Comic Strip Collection, but also Doctor Who Once Upon a Time Lord. And this is really cool because this is Dan Slott working on Doctor Who. You have that beautiful cover there by Adam Hughes with my favorite companion, Martha Jones. I love that girl. Everybody's like, oh, it's all about Amy Pond. Oh, it's all about, what was her name? Rose. Nah, man. Martha, boy. Ooh. Anyway, Evanescence Echoes from the Void. I got all in my Doctor Who. Published by Opus Comics. And we're also getting the Far South in trade paperback format. And that is by Fair Square Comics. And Frank Frazetta, Death Dealer Volume 3, continuing that series. And that is published by Opus Comics. And we're getting the Highlands Volume 2, published by Cinebook, as well as the History Comics of World War II, published by First Second Books. That one is coming out in hardcover and in trade paperback. And we're also getting the I Am Hexed, also another one that's coming out in hardcover and in trade paperback by Rocket Ship Entertainment. I love the colors in that cover. Kristen Thompson is the writer and artist on that book. I don't know what it's about. Jonah and the Unstoppable Monster, the deluxe edition. I had no idea this was coming out. This is being published by Oni Press. Lackadaisy, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Iron Circus Comics, and it looks to be one of those widescreen landscape books. Michael Vaillant, Legendary Races in the Hell of Indianapolis. Cover looks amazing. This is by Dennis Lapierre and Vincent Dutriel. And that is being published by Cinebooks. And Middle Distance, a graphic memoir, is coming out by Self-Made Hero, or published by Self-Made Hero, rather. And Nightwalkers, the collected edition, is coming out from Source Point Press. They just keep putting out books. Wow. Nord is coming out in a hardcover format. This is by Soaring Penguin Press. Really dig that cover. Satan's Kingdom is coming out, and that is being published by Secret Acres. And Sonia Versal is coming out in trade paperback volume 2, and this is by Dynamite. The Cat from the Kimono is coming out that week from Humanoids Publishing, and that is a trade paperback for $19.99. Topi Gallery All the World's Glory is coming out in a hardcover format and published by Magnetic Press. Doomsday Camp Story Eater is coming out that very same week, and that is published by Razor Bill. And Good Bastard is coming out that week from Leave Gleason Publishing. And Hunt, Kill, Repeat to wrap up the week and the month of October from Mad Cave Studios. Love that cover. Mark London, Francesco Archiodiacano, and Mark Deering are the creators behind that book. Now, if you're interested in purchasing these books, don't forget to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those are the books coming out in October of 2023. Let me know in the comments down below what you are picking up, what you are most interested in, what you didn't even know was coming out until you watched this video. Again, if you want the written documentation, check out our Patreon. It starts at $1 a month. It's a great way to support the channel, and thank you to our existing patrons. Cannot be doing this without you all. Hit that like button on the way out, and that's it, everyone. Till next month. Whew. Everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.